So welcome everybody to this latest video on 162 Maths, and in this video we'll be going over an AQA GCSE Maths Foundation topic test, Basic Algebra 4. Now as always there'll be a copy of the test paper in the description below for you to download and have an attempt at either before watching this video or while watching this video as we go through the answers. Now as always with algebraic topics, they could appear on both the calculator and the non-calculator paper, so we're just going to assume that all the questions tested on this paper are non-calculator. So let's get started. So looking at question 1, it says work out the value of 3 plus 4 squared minus 20 divided by 5. So what you need to do is just remember the processes of BIDMAS. So we need to do 3 plus, and then 4 squared is 16 minus 20 divided by 5. Then we've got to do the 20 divided by 5, which is 4. So that becomes 3 plus 16 minus 4, which gives us a total of 15. Question 2 then says insert brackets in the following to make it correct, and we need to put our brackets around the 4 and the 2 and another set around 8 and the minus 2. It then says for question 3 that George says that 4 plus A plus A plus A plus A plus B plus B equals 24AB. Describe the mistake George has made. Give the correct answer. So what he has done, he has multiplied everything together in some cases, or basically just joined up the numbers and the letters. So he's multiplied everything, and the correct answer should be, and it's going to be 4 plus 3a plus 2b. And what George has done is he's multiplied the numbers and then stuck the a and b together. For question 4, it says on Monday, David travels m miles. On Tuesday, he travels 35 miles more than he did on Monday. And on Wednesday, he travels twice the distance he travelled on Monday. Write down an expression for the total distance he travels during the 3 days. So again, with the 3 stages, you want to give them 3 separate expressions. So the first one is m. Tuesday, it is 35 more, so that's going to be m plus 35. And on Monday, it's twice the distance than he does on, Wednesday he does twice as much on Monday, so that's going to be 2m. Then adding all those expressions together, again if you want to write brackets, that's entirely up to you. And then collecting the m's together, we get 4m, and we've got plus 35. Question 5, it says multiply out the brackets, so we've got 7 times 3, which is 21a, plus 7 times 8, which is 56. So the correct answer is 21a plus 56. For question 6, it says expand and simplify. So again, going through the expansion, we've got 20h plus 28 plus 10h minus 14. So in collecting the h's together, we get 30h, and then 28 minus 14 is positive 14. Then for 6b, we've got 3k minus 3k times 9, which is 27k, plus 9 minus 10k, and then we've got plus 20. The reason why it's plus is because we've got 2 minuses. So in collecting all of those together, we've got 27 take away 10, which is 17k, and we've got 9 plus 20, which is 29. Now looking at question 7, it says that a house has an open plan kitchen and lounge as shown. And it says work out the expression for the total perimeter of the lounge. Now, like with most area and perimeter questions, you kind of need to work out what all the other missing sides are. However, this is going to be very difficult because I don't know what the length of this length here is, or this length here is. I know what the total distance is. And I also don't know what this length is or this length. Now that doesn't actually make a difference, and the reason for that is because if I took this line here and I just drew and just moved it here, then that dotted red line is the same as that solid red line, and all of this length here is 3x minus 2. Now likewise, if I took this side here and I elevated it to make this length here, then all of this would be 4 lots of x plus 1. So the perimeter then is going to be all of those 4 sides added together. So here we've got 3x minus 2 plus 4 lots of x plus 1 plus 3x minus 2 plus 4 lots of x plus 1. So then collecting or expanding the brackets first, making sure you multiply the 4 by the 1 as well, which again is a very common error that students can make. And then collecting all the x's together, we get 14x. And then collecting the numbers, minus 2 plus 4 is 2, we get plus 4. And there is my final answer for that one. Moving on to question 8, it says factorize fully the following expression. So again, here we want to take out the highest, well, both terms have got numbers, so we take out the highest common factor of those numbers, which is 5. Then think to myself, I need 5, but I want 10x. What do you have to multiply 5 to get 10x? Well, that's going to be 2x. What do you have to multiply 5 to get 15? Well, that's going to be 3. Then looking at the next one, again, each term has got numbers. So you think to yourself, what's the biggest number that goes to 36 and 48? That's going to be 12. So then here, what do I have to multiply 12 to get 36x? Well, that's going to be 3x. And what do I need to multiply 12 to get 48? That's going to be 4. And there's a minus in the middle. And then for C, I've got numbers and I've got x's. So again, looking at the numbers, I take out the biggest common factor of 27 and 45, which is 9. And I take the smallest power of x, which is just a single x. Then inside the bracket, I'm going to end up with 3 plus, and it's going to be 9 times 5. And I've got 1x, but I need 4 more. So that's going to be x to the power of 4. Then for D, again, I've got looking at numbers and letters, and I've got x's and y's. So looking at the numbers, the biggest factor is 11. The smallest power of x is just 1, and the smallest power of y is y squared. So then looking at the first one, I've got 11, but I want 44, so I need to multiply that by 4. I've got 1x, but I need x cubed, so I need another 2. I've got y squared, and I've got y squared, that's fine, so I move on to the next one. Then 11 times 3 gives me 33. I've got 1x and I want 1x, that's fine. But I've got 2 y's and I want 4 y's. So I need another 2. And there is my final answer. Moving on to question 9. It says match each of the following by drawing a line. So here, when we've got now the definitions of an equation is basically where you've got equals and one letter. An expression is where you've got no equals with multiple letters. A formula is where you've got multiple letters and an equal sign. An identity is where you've got those 3 little dashes that represent like an equal sign. So here, the only one that has to be identity is going to be that one. The one with a no equal sign is going to be an expression. Here we've got 2 letters and an equal sign, so that's going to be a formula. And here we've got 1 letter and an equal sign, so that's going to be an equation. Now looking at question 10, it says write down all the integers n that satisfy this equation. Now for this, we want, if I write down all the numbers between -3 to 1, I end up with that. Now if it's got an equal sign, it means it can be that number, so 1 is safe, but there's no underlining next to the inequality that's next to 3, so I need to get rid of that. So then all the possible integers it could be is -2, -1, 0 and 1. Now you don't need to show any working out or any scribbling out. If you get to the right answer, that's absolutely fine, but just make sure that you have included every single valid answer. Then moving on to question 11, it says Sanjit wants to pick some strawberries. He pays £3 for a box and then he pays £1.20 per kilogram of strawberries. Write down a formula to work out the total cost of C for picking S kilograms of strawberries. So let's have a look. So C, and we're measuring that in pounds. So let's just stick a pound sign there. And that's not really essential, but I personally would write it because you want to say whether you're working out the cost in either pounds or pence. I'm going to go for pounds, but I will write down the formula for pence if you decide to go for that option. So then here he's definitely going to be paying £3 plus, and then it's 1.2 then S for every kilogram that he spends. So you could write this, or you could write 1.2 S plus 3 equals C. Now equal C could be on either side, or you could write C, which is going to be in pence, as 120 S plus 300, because it doesn't really specify how and what units they want the money in. However, the fact that they've given both the amounts in pounds, I would probably opt for writing it in pounds. Then moving on to our last question, it says these 2 rectangles have the same area. Write down an equation to show this. So to work out the area of a rectangle, we just multiply the two sides together. So for this first one, it's going to be 4 lots of 5x plus 1. And that is the same as the second area, which is 6 times 6x minus 2. Now that is perfectly fine as our final answer. However, if you did want to expand the brackets, you would have had 20x plus 4 equals 36x minus 12. Now it'd be very, very tempting for you to work out what x is, but that's not what the question asks you to do. It simply tells you to write down the equation to show that the area of those two rectangles is the same.